Konnichiwa, Nakistan here again, and today we're looking at Gauntlet, not because Gauntlet's broken, thankfully, because I've been doing a little work on these graphics cards. This is a 3DFX Voodoo 2 graphics card, and for some reason Gauntlet just literally uses a PC graphics card. This isn't the original graphics card. The original graphics card is this. It is an Obsidian 2 Voodoo 2 card, and it is just basically like all the other Voodoo 2 cards, except for the fact it doesn't have a pass-through port, and neither does it have some various other ports. It's also not got the SLI port, because yes, these do SLI. Oh, and this is 10 meg of RAM, not 12. Yeah, and what I've been doing is trying to get my Voodoo graphics cards to work, because what I mean by that is some of these cards, I'm not the greatest when it comes to storing things. I don't really take too much care. I'm trying to get better, but you know, I have that tendency. And basically, all of these quad flat package chips, which are these ones here, when basically, when I say that, I mean it's got it's got pins on all the sides, so quad, and it's flat package. But what happens is, because of my neglect, these pins sort of get bent, and I think that's how Carnival started to go, annoyingly. So, obviously, I'm going to be getting a wood board and surround for this, but for now, I'm just going through and getting some working. And why am I getting these working? Well, because it'd be nice to have spares. For Gauntlet or any Vegas-based game that uses a Voodoo 2, all you need is a Voodoo 2 graphics card, and it'll still work. You don't need to get an expensive Obsidian 2, you just need to... I mean, I picked these up for less than £10 each, and the Obsidian one over there costs about 50. So, but yeah, due to my neglect, some of the pins will get bent, and then they stop working. But basically, and that's the same story, because of my neglect, this card stopped working. I mean, you can probably see that dent on the 3DFX chip in there, which is really hard to see, especially through my phone. But this card didn't work. It just came up on. It just didn't come up on the screen. Hold on. What it did, this LED here turned up and said I think it said UE, which basically means there's a graphics error, because it does 9 checks and then it does the graphics. And it did the graphics and it couldn't work. But you see there, it's going through all its checks now. 6, 7, come on, 7, 8. Oh, yeah, that's basically the graphics card error. This card did work. I don't know what just happened to it. Oh, that's why. There's a pin that's not soldered on there, so that's why it's not working. But basically, that's the original card. So what I've been doing is I've been going around and just trying to sort of straighten out the pins on the Voodoo cards, because, like I say, this is a generic Voodoo 2 card. But, and you know, to be honest, I like this board better, because not only does it work, but it actually fits the colour scheme as well, because it's all green. And then, but you see here, booting up a game, now we go up to check 9. I don't know what all these checks mean. I think it's just like CPU and IQ or that. There you go, 9, and it comes up on the screen. The only reason it's red is because I've been messing about with the colours on my monitor, so that's all that. But you see, it's going into various VGA modes, and then it's going to go into the game mode in a second, like so. That's all well and dandy. But obviously, I had cards that don't work, and now then they do. This card is the same. I did straighten up all the pins on it, especially on this, because you got several chips on here. You got the texture mapping units here, which I think are the actual 3D chips, and then this is like a system controller. I think that's how it goes. This one, it's all straight, but it's like one pin isn't actually soldered onto the board. It's sort of come loose, but it does the same thing. Does the same thing as other cards. You plug it in, and it just doesn't work. And it just does the error code. Right, that's that. But some cards, oh, is that damaged? No. Some cards, like this one, I think. Is it this one? I believe it is. Do weird errors. This one still has an error, and I think it's just, again, the pin on the texture mapping unit is broken. This one's weird. At least it worked before I started recording this video. And you see it's all glitched out and it's just looking weird, and then it just crashes and restarts because the Voodoo card's giving itself errors. So that one works, but it's got an error in it, and it's literally all it is. It's just the pins. And really, the point of the video is just to say what I've been doing, but you know, partly an information video on how that you can go about fixing these cards. And all I've been doing has been getting a very thin scalpel, and then I've just been going around and just going like that against the pins of the ones I think are bent and trying to see if they work. Obviously you got to be careful you don't cut yourself or you cut the traces. You see there's a lot of thin things. But yeah, that's all I've been doing recently and hoping to get it working. Puzzloop, by the way, I have tested. I meant to put up a video on it before, but I didn't. It does work, but I think some of these caps might be broken. Well, not broken, but maybe going faulty. Because apparently this is a common problem for the Kaneko Supervisions to go, Kaneko Super Systems to go wrong. Because apparently the colours go on them, but we'll see. Anyway, so I will get onto this again, and hopefully we can get more working cards. Thank you for watching.